So in our BI reports, we discussed in our previous session about the environments and the technical perspective. What are the things we do in SAS model and PAS model? So here in our instance, we have seen the data model, how we can write a simple query over here. It is okay. So when we come to our BI report environment, we will find first data sets. Data sets is nothing but writing the queries. We are going to write queries, either one or multiple queries we are going to write. And then if we have multiple queries, means multiple data sets, then we are supposed to link by using this element by expression. And if you want to go for edit this, it can be edited here. And you can go for write global functions here it is. Okay, so this is all possible over here it is. And if we want to go for write some PLSQL code, generally it will allow us to write in pass model event triggers. And if we are displaying some flux fields data like segments data and all, we'll be using this. And obviously required parameters for reports. If we want to filter the data based on some input, we'll go for add the input parameters here. And for that, if client wants to provide some list of values, we will be using LOV, list of values we are going to provide. So bursting is basically to divide the report output and distribute to the different destinations as an email or as a file. We'll be able to use this busting concept in BI report environment. For that, we are going to write a busting control file and we are going to pass the parameters according to the client requirement. We will configure email setup over there. Okay. So in this instance, I'll just show you how to build a simple BI report and then how it can be registered and how it can be scheduled, that we are going to discuss. So whenever we are working with Fusion applications, how to find the table names, how to find the table names, that we are going to see first. So for our Fusion applications, we know that we got an excellent documentation, Oracle OER, Oracle Enterprise Repository. There are two ways we can find the table names. First way is go to Oracle Enterprise Repository Fusion applications, cloud applications here. Let's say I would like to know what tables are there for financials here. Financials, if it is for procurement, we have to go here. If it is for order management here, if it is HRMS, we have to find out here. Let me go for financials. Okay, so go to all books here. Go down, last we will find here. Development, APIs and schemas. This REST APIs and SOAP web services, if your client is going to integrate the applications with third-party tools, then we are supposed to exchange the data between the applications. That time REST APIs or SOAP APIs will be used. So the purpose of this one is it will export or import the data in JSON format or XML format different. So this is required if clients are using third-party applications to exchange the data between the applications, it will be used. And we can find here tables and views for financials here. So let me just go for tables and views for financials, choose this HTML option here. Here we can find module-wise tables and views. Assets module, budget module, cash management, expense module, financials common tables, and general ledger module tables, payables, account payables, payments module, receivables, and then other modules, subledger accounting and all we will find here. Same thing for HCM or even supply chain management. For example, if we talk about the payables here, we'll find the tables, aging periods. Let's say I want to know the invoice table. So what is the main word here? Invoice. Bank tables. What is the main word? Bank. Here we can find bank tables. Now we require invoice. Yes. This is the table which contains all. For every table, there is an explanation which is given by the Oracle. AP invoices all contains records for invoices, whatever we enter in the front end, that we'll find. In case if we are going to generate some expense reports, it means employee expenses. So there are supplier invoices and there are some expense invoices which are raised by the employee also, traveling allowance, daily allowance, some other tour allowances, whatever. So that tables are different. Expense reports will find in some other tables. When the table name is given by the Oracle, obviously Oracle is going to give the details, which schema it is there in the database and which module, is it table or view, and table space, and what is the primary. This is important because when we want to go for join multiple tables, parent and child, master or detail, then we required primary key and foreign key. For example, we have suppliers data, supplier data, supplier address, supplier site assignment, supplier contact, supplier qualification, supplier banks. All these 8 levels of information is stored in the 8 tables. So we have to join all those tables. We must know what is parent and what is child table. Then we must know what is primary key and foreign key so that we can write join condition in the where clause and we can bring the data from the database. Okay, that we can find here. In this table, there might be some 20 columns, 30, 40, or 50, or 100, maybe 200 columns. For every column, there will be explanation given by Oracle. What is this column and what it contains? Information. Okay, but we don't need to worry about this. Is technical part. Even technical guys also, they don't need to remember all the column names. If we say invoice table, what it contains: invoice number, invoice type, amount, currency, supplier, supplier site, legal entity, business unit, payment term. This is all information. Other than that, they will not expect. If at all client is asking something new, definitely they have to go through the documentation and get it. End of this particular documentation, Oracle will give the foreign keys also. In case if you want to join your invoice table with this table, then what is the foreign key? If you want to join AP invoices all with purchase order table in procurement module, because once you raise the purchase order, you will go for receive the goods. After that, you will raise the invoice based on the PO. I just wanted to have the report for the invoices which are created based on the purchase order. There might be number of invoices created manually also, but I need only the invoices which are raised with purchase order. Then how we can get it? We are supposed to join the PO table also, PO headers all, AP invoices all. This is going to be primary, right? So this is suppliers table. This is the join condition. GL tables, SZ parties, supplier name will find here. Party ID is the foreign key. Okay, so there will be a clear explanation. The technical guys can easily understand this part and simply they'll write a query. This is one way of finding the table names and primary foreign keys. This. Okay. Another way is whenever we enter into this BI report environment catalog, for example, we are working with financials. Go to shared folders. Go to shared folders here. And we required financials. Go to expand financials folder. In financials, which module you are going to work? Payables module. Okay, expand payables. In payables, again, which document you are looking? Invoice or payments or period close or prepayments or withholding tax, which one? Invoices. There are some standard reports provided by Oracle. This are all reports and templates designed by Oracle. If I go for expand, I can find the data models here. What is data model? Nothing but SQL query. SQL query to get idea recognition rate. SQL query to get invoices, payables payments, invoice aging of definition, payables invoices, payables key indicators like this we'll find. So we can open any one of this data model. Let's say edit this payables invoice data model. And we can find there is only one query we have. This is the query. And I don't find the query anywhere. You have to scroll down like this. This is the query as written. And these are functions, summary columns like count, average, minimum, maximum, that. And this is, I just wanted to see the query what Oracle has written. Edit data set. So system in this Oracle has used business units, lookups table and all. Like this, we can open the built-in reports which are provided by Oracle. For example, if I open some procurement related, go to catalog, we can find here. We have to go to procurement. It's a separate, it will not come under financials. We have to go for procurement. In procurement, I just wanted to check the suppliers table. Okay, go to expand here, suppliers, data models. And supplier registration email data model, supplier registration approved email data model. This is all information we have. Or in procurement, let me check with some documents, requisition or purchase orders. There will find purchase order data model, edit. Because this SQL queries, we can find from here. Yeah, there are multiple queries they have written. Just click on this, go for edit. Edit selected data set. I can find what query they have written. Same thing here, click edit. I can find what query they have written. For technical people, they can easily understand the query. Even if it is complex, it takes some time. So understanding the query and joining. So we'll find all this here, multiple queries. Definitely, it will be a complex requirement sometimes. And this is about triggers, PLSQL packages. They'll be calling the package here. And flex fields. We know that flex fields data is required, especially for finance and supply. Common flex field is a accounting key flex field. We'll find accounting information, right, while creating invoices, payments, and general ledger. While working with procurement module, we are using TAD, transaction accounting definition, and purchase order, charge account, variance account, accrual. So these all key flex fields data will be stored in the segments columns. We know that segment columns, right? So whenever we want to retrieve the data from segment columns, we are supposed to pass some standards based on that data will be retrieved. We know that what is structure, instance, and other information. So if at all we want to go for key flex fields data retrieval, segments data retrieval, we will be using this flex fields option. Other than that key flex field, if we need some descriptive flex field or extensible flex fields data, that will be stored in attribute columns and information columns. Directly, you can write the query and get the information from the database. Okay. Then why it is required for key flex field? Because in key flex field, we will find multiple structures. multiple structure instances. Exactly which structure data you want, again, which structure instance data you required from the database. For that, we are supposed to pass some standard input parameters so that system will bring segments data, segment combinations data, and segments description data also. Because key flux field data contains two values. One is code, another one is meaning. 133500. What is that? It's a prepayment account. So 13350 is a code, and prepayment expenditure, that is a meaning. So this code will be stored in one table, meaning will be stored in another table. So we wanted to bring this data together and generate the output. But DFF and extensible flux fields are not like that. It's a single value. Whatever you pass in the front end, that will be stored in the database columns. Directly we can get. But key flux field, you will have two values. You just check while entering the accounting information or TAD information. Or if it is a HCM, we will find a people group key flux field. Another one is a payroll cost allocation key flux field. In global HR and payroll, two key flux fields we have. Right. So that time when we want to key flux field data, then it will be used. And we'll find parameters here, passing the parameters. If there is any busting concept is there, then we can find that busting option over here. I think busting is not there defined for this. Like this, we can find the table names and how we can go for join those tables in two ways. One, we can go through the documentation. Another one is we can go through the data model. Even for HCM also, say, for example, when we come back to our documentation HCM, let's say we have to go back cloud applications. Excuse me. And human resources. Let's go to human resources here. And all books. Select all books here, human resources. Last, go down. Tables and views for HCM, human capital management. Select a HTML option. Module wise, we'll find all the tables, table names, and explanation about that table. For example, we are working with the global HR module. This is global HR, means global human resource. Here we'll find the table names, enterprise structure, HR organizations, employees table. What is the employee table? For all people F. So in HCM, people are also nothing but an employee, right? We'll find for all people F, per underscore jobs table, grades table, positions table, LDAP locations. Per people names, person names. This. Now this is the table name which contains person names. F stands for full view. In human capital management, there is a concept called date track, effective start date and effective end date. We don't find in finance and supply. It's only in human capital management. To maintain that, underscore F full view tables means future dated records, will find that underscore F full view. So in per person names, underscore F is the table. It holds all your persons and names, whatever employee names we have. And primary key is person name ID, effective start date, and effective end date. This person name ID is the primary key. Okay. And then we will find the columns and explanations. When we go for down, we can find the foreign keys. We don't have something, indexes are there. This is just for improving the performance of this particular table queries. Indexes will be used. Okay. Per person types, employee phone numbers, email IDs. This. In case of here, again, we have to go to shared folder, go down, human capital management. Here we can find module-wise standard reports, built-in reports, person gallery, recruitment, security, time and labor, other modules here. So we can choose whatever the modules, but we don't find much BI reports point of view, because in HCM it will be little bit less only. let's say we are talking about security, nothing but roles, data access, data roles, information retrieval from the database. We don't have. Global reports data model. Sometimes these data models will be designed by using XML, XML file also. Sometimes SQL queries. This. So like this, we can find the table names, how these tables are joined. This are okay. So in case if we just wanted to know the table, we can go for write our own options. Here it is. Okay. So we can write our own triggers in BI Publisher. OTBI, we don't have triggers facility. We don't have busting concept in OTBI. We don't have scheduling concept also in OTBI. Okay. So those facility we have only in BI report. This triggers also will be able to write in case if you have the access to the database. As I said, platform as a service. If your client is using this PaaS environment, you will get an access to the database where you can create your own database objects like tables, views, indexes, procedure, functions, packages. Those packages are triggers we can call from here. From here, we can call it. But right now we are working in the SaaS model, right? This is our SaaS instance. So it is not going to allow. So in the SaaS model, we can connect to the database and we can select the data, but we'll not be in a position to write a code or will not be able to update or delete the record from this environment. It's only selection. Then how we can update and delete the records? You have to do it from the front end. Front end only. For example, there is an employee, you want to update, then we have to go for person management update, manage invoices and update, manage purchase orders and update, manage sales orders and go for update or delete the transaction. Generally, transactions in ERP applications, we don't go for delete. Either we'll cancel it or we'll deactivate or we'll send the end date for that particular transaction. Okay. So that's very common because in enterprises, they wanted to have the complete history. It's not like, okay, create a record and delete, because enterprises wanted to have a transparency, control on the users. When user performs some transaction, either they have to cancel it or they have to deactivate or set the end date. So that history will be there. Who has created this and when it was ended and what was the reason, complete information we will find in the applications. Okay. So this is how we can find the table names as well as the join conditions and primary keys. Two ways we can find. One is from documentation point of view. Another one is from the BI reports point of view. Okay. Thank you.